Hi folks, an interesting one this week. I'm showing you how to use a 3D printer to make your own boat parts. Nothing too major. What happened in the last few weeks was I bought a sail feeder. As I said, probably said previously, I do a lot of solo sailing. So the Jagger 21 I bought had a bolt rope on the sail, which is quite hard to get up when you're on your own. So I bought a sail feeder. Problem being was when it arrived, the bolts were just a wee bit big for the sort of the sail groove on the mast. So it was M5 and I really needed M4. So what I did was um, I sort of had to think, and I was thinking if I put two M4 bolts in behind, but how do you keep them from turning? So what I did was build this wee plastic thing, which kind of just replicates what the original thing did. So what I did was basically a holder for two M4 bolts, and then just two standard bolts then plug into it. So whenever you goes down the groove, then it sort of grips and you can turn, so it doesn't turn the whole thing around, and so you can tighten the sail feeder in. That all worked great. But it got me thinking, what else could you use a 3D printer to make? And I was quite surprised. I went on to Thingiverse, which is basically a free website where you can download models that you can print. So couple of things I spotted were things I had paid good money for over the last while that I probably could have ended up printing. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show the Flashforge Adventurer 3D printer. So it's an easy to use, prints most materials like ABS, nylon, all those hardware and ones that you'd probably want to use on the boat. And it's quite cheap, well, relatively cheap. But it's a useful thing to have, not just for boats, but for other things. But I'll kick ahead, show you the Flashforge Adventurer 3. Links for all these things will be down below, including links to the Thingiverse models that I'm showing and whatnot. So here we have a Flashforge Adventure 3, quite compact 3D printer. It's got an enclosure. The enclosure is useful for printing things like ABS that need constant temperature. It's got a nice wee touch screen here, so you can do your filament and things like that there. And it was on offer on Amazon for about $279. The good thing about this one is it prints a wide range of filament, and it's quite compact and easy to use. So what I'll do now is go through the steps from getting the models on Thingiverse to downloading them, printing them, and then basically a time lapse of them actually getting printed. So here we are on eBay, just to show you the type of thing we're after. It's just a wee end cap for a ST1000. Yep, so it's 25 quid. I think I had actually bought one a while back, and I think they were 20 quid back then, so you can see how inflation's biting. So Thingiverse is this here, it's just thingiverse.com. I'm going to put a link down in my description down below if you want to have a look at there, for all these parts that I'll be printing. So if we actually do a Raymarine end cap, and you can see one pops up. So as you can see, it's quite a funny description here. But what we'll do is, as I say, I'll put the link to this here on the description. So I'll download all files. It takes a couple of seconds. Okay, so I went to see print test where I saved that from the last one, and this is the slicer. So this is flash print. It comes with as part of the Flashforge on their website. So basically, it's unique to that type of printer. So what I'll do is simply opened it as I did there. Go to File, Load File, and then pick your file. It would be the STL file. You click Start Slicing. I've changed some of these settings just for better. So you can go in here, General. There's a lot of things you don't need to worry about here, but what I did was up the shell count, sort of make it a bit thicker, because the infill sort of, it's kind of like a partial. It doesn't sort of create solid plastic. It sort of creates like a wee shell inside that obviously uses less plastic. So that's the infill. So 75% is triangles. I keep rafts off. I think that's on by default. And additions, I put a brim on. That's basically a couple of blank lines around the side. And then I'll just hit slice. So that there goes and slices it. And if we send to printer, so it'll try and find the printer. So we do try and find the printer, yeah. And we will hit OK. And that's it, sent to. So we'll go and check the printer now and see what's coming out. Okay, so you can see now that that part's actually coming up down there. So what it's doing now is warming up. So you've got your print bed and then the print head. So the print head's where the plastic comes out. I've just have the bog standard filament that came with this. So as you can see, it's just heating up there now. What I'll do is I'll put the camera on time lapse and we will get a time lapse of printing. Okay, so it has printed out. Didn't take long, and it actually looks very well. This is the PLA, sort of like translucent PLA that came with the printer. So this is the tiller pilot, and this is how it fits in. Just screws in the exact same as the normal one. And it's got the hole at the bottom for where it clicks into the pin. So yeah, so basically I didn't need to pay the 25 quid on eBay to buy that when I could have printed it myself. If you've kind of interested in this here, I'm going to, as I say, this is going to be a series, so I'm going to continue it up with other videos such as how to actually design your own parts, and you know, going for more advanced things such as extension bars is my next on my hit list. I can't see them in Thingiverse, but I've sort of got a good design coming along of my own. So I'm going to have sort of show how I came up with that, how I did it, so you can do it yourself, or you can buy this. I'm going to put some links down below. I'm going to sell some of these on eBay just for a few quid. If you want to save yourself having to buy a 3D printer, yeah, you go ahead to see the links down below. But yeah, like, subscribe. We'll have more of these videos with the 3D printer. I think there's some great stuff. I've seen things like tiller, you know, the wee things for managing your tiller, tiller clutch is it's called. I've also seen wind, you know, a wireless wind instrument, things like that there. Now these things obviously take a wee bit more than just 3D printing, but I think some of the stuff will be pretty cool. So yeah, if you want to like, subscribe and follow the journey. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.